Yeah, so since my last video, I've been doing a lot of different things. I've been working more hours. I've been doing my own thing. Before I was doing a lot of online work, and I still am. I'm still doing some work online, but I mentioned this before how I've been suffering from digital eye strain a lot, computer eye syndrome, and I still suffering even as of right now. My eyes are kind of burning, so you might notice my eyes are watering and kind of, but my eyes are a little bit stressed now. But a lot of it's just from looking at my phone for the last couple of days. But right now I'm on a mission right now to cut back on screen time again. I have to do like a screen time I don't know what screen time break or whatever you want to call it, where I try to go as many days as I can without looking at screens unless it's like work related or um unless it's work related or uh, anything business related, anything important like that. And so yeah, I'm doing that right now. But other than that, I found something else I've been doing outside of the home. It's not a traditional job, but it's outside of the home. I found my own way to make some money, averaging about 20 hours doing that, and then probably like another maybe 1 hour, 2 hours inside the house working from home, making money from home. So that's about what, two, four, six, eight, 10, about maybe 30 hours, maybe 32 hours. Yeah, something like that, between 30 and 32 hours. So between the stuff I do outside of the home and the stuff I do at home, that's about 32 hours a week of working and doing stuff to earn money. And like I said, I had to cut back on the screen time. So I'm spending more time out of the house than in the house. So that's working out. Plus, it's getting me out more. Um, I think one issue I had before, especially during the pandemic, was just being too sedentary, being too sedentary and stuff like that, and that caused a lot of health issues. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I am suffering from GERD, and like I said, I'm having eye strain. The eye strain actually causes my nasal to drain. Sometimes I wake up with mucus and all that, and it sounds kind of nasty, but the mucus draining or the sinus drainage and down the throat and all that. So plus the acid reflux and the GERD on top of that. So um, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Um, Got to pretty much do it on my own right now because I was on food stamps after the pandemic because of the job loss, but they cut that out because they said I was able-bodied person, even though I was having a lot of health issues. But I think it was a blessing in disguise because it sort of forced me to start being more, getting out the house more and find out new ways to make money. So it helped me out. That helped me out in a lot of ways. I can still use the help though, but it helped me out. That help. I mean, the financial help I can still use it from the government, but like I said, it cutting my food stamps forced me to find other avenues of earning money. So I got multiple sources of income. Also, it forced me to get out the house more, so I'm not as sedentary. I do need to get back into my workout routine. I definitely need to start climbing stairs. I need to start walking up inclines, and I need to start lifting weights, doing strength resistance exercises. Yeah, specifically those exercises, stair climbing, strength resistance, especially upper body strength resistance. Those two things. And sorry, my eyes are eyes are really dry. You drink a little bit of water as well. Yeah. So that's really helped me out a lot. Like I said, it was a blessing in disguise. I'm a little bit older now. I'm 38 years old, officially 38. I think my last video, I think I was still 37, but my birthday passed in May, so I'm 38 now. So I'm pushing 40, and I'm a little bit depressed, but also happy at the same time. Because, getting older is a blessing, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I wasted a lot of time, especially after 2020. I made a lot of mistakes. I wasted a lot of time between 2020 and 2024 specifically. And a lot of it was just due to poor health choices. I think a lot of people made a lot of poor health choices during the quarantine that, and the lasting effects lasted almost to 2023, 2024. And but I think that just getting out the house, I think the one smart thing that really hit me, like the epiphany that I had, especially last year, is when I realized that my health issues were not as severe as they were before the pandemic. So I had asked myself, what did my life look like? What did my everyday average day look like before the pandemic, right? And I was working about 8 hour shift a day, standing on my feet, moving I was working at a retail store. I wasn't spending a lot of time looking at screens except maybe during lunchtime, like a 30-minute lunch. Sometimes I took an hour lunch, but I would take a nap. So I wasn't looking at my screen all day. I spent a good 8 hours on my, well, not 8 hours straight, but um, maybe 6.5 hours, 6 hours and 45 minutes on my feet and moving around. And, it just seemed like my health was just a lot better then, right? And then I think I was going up to the basketball court about twice a week to just shoot some hoop. I didn't actually play, but just practice my jump shot and my handles and stuff like that. Not trying to be no ball player, but just to keep moving and just keep myself in shape. I actually started doing that in 2019, and I noticed, the improvement in my health then. I used to do about a 30-minute walk. In fact, I remember I used to go up to the basketball court, practice my hoops and my shots and my handles for like a half hour, and then after that go walk around a pond. There's a pond in my area where you walk around. About 4 laps would be about 30 minutes. So then I would do that after playing basketball. So play basketball for 30 minutes and then walk around the pond for 30 minutes. So that was keeping me in shape. But then after the pandemic, when the pandemic started, that's when I stopped doing that, sitting in the house. So basically, what I'm saying is, I asked myself, what have I been doing? What I'm stuttering. What did I do different that caused my health to decline compared to before the pandemic? And the main thing that came to my epiphany was being more sedentary. I wasn't spending hours sitting. I was spending, like I said, I was working average 8 hour shift. So, and that 8 hour shift was me on my feet. Like I said, it was a retail store. So retail stores, you spend a lot of time on your feet, moving back and forth and stuff. So yeah, so that's another one of the reasons why I decided to figure out a way to make money outside the home. Like I said, it's not a job. I don't work at like a traditional job. I don't have to clock in, but it's something I do outside of work. Another update is, I think I already probably told you this, but I don't have a car anymore. Right now, I just have a electric bike, um, which is pretty good. It hits up to about 22 miles per hour. It's not too much, but my average commute is about a 5 mile radius. So I can get to and from where I need to go within a matter of 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at the latest if I need to go kind of far. But I say the average commute for me is really not even 15 minutes. I'll say 5 to 10 minutes, honestly. And the reason why is because when you're on a bike, you can take a lot of shortcuts. I can cut through houses and stuff. So I really like it. It's also helping me stay in shape. Once again, fighting that sedentary behavior. Um, and that's pretty much it. I still got some issues with acid reflux and GERD, which is causing some breathing issues. I gotta go to my doctor this Tuesday. today's Sunday. I gotta go Tuesday to talk to the doctor. And yeah, I already got some tests done the last couple of weeks. I went and got some blood work done and got some other tests done to try to see what's going on. I have a good idea what was triggered it, but one thing I told my doctor, and I think I mentioned this in another one of my videos, is I think there's a connection between my eyes and my gut, my center of my gut. And I noticed, I've had acid reflux probably since 2020. Actually, probably since 2017, to be honest. But 2020 is when it started getting really bad because I was sitting and eating a lot of junk food and stuff. But I say in 2024, um, I noticed after a particular day of spending a lot of time looking at screens. Remember, at that time I was working mostly from home, spending a lot of time looking at screens, and my eyes got really stressed out while I was looking at. Got really stressed out, started burning real bad, and I noticed around that same time, that's when I started having the breathing issues. And I told my doctor about it, but she said that she don't think there's a connection. But after doing some research, I learned something about a vagus nerve. It's like a connection between the eyes, your brain, I think your heart, and your stomach, your gut, center gut, right here. I think it runs from your eye back down the side of your neck, down towards your heart, and then down further to the center of your gut. And I remember specifically, even before I started having the breathing issues, I noticed how sometimes when I strained my eyes, I would notice like a sharp pinch in the center gut right here. And I say, that has something to do with nerves. That's like something going on with my nervous system. And what I found out was the vagus nerve is a connection between the eyes, your heart, and your gut. And what happens is, let's say you see something traumatic, like let's say you see a car accident, and you know how like when you see something very traumatic like that, your heart naturally starts beating faster, but your stomach starts to tense up a little bit. And what that is that your body responding to what it is you're seeing with your eyes, right? So your body is responding to you something that you see in your eyes, right? So what I'm thinking is when I'm dealing with eye strain, digital eye strain, when my eyes are burning and stressed out like that, burning and just having the issues that it's having, um, I think that my heart and my gut respond to the stress in my eyes. And I'm like mm, 90 to 95% sure that that's what's going on. Now, the doctor that I spoke to, my doctor is actually new. I don't actually talk to my doctor. I talk to one of her, I guess you call it like a student doctor. So she's kind of new. She may not be educated in that area. Maybe she's just not. Maybe it's just not a well-known thing. But after doing a lot of research, especially for like, I've been doing research for almost maybe 8 months, 8, 9 months now, and I keep coming back to that same information. I've been Googling it and searching it, and I keep going back. I keep coming back to that same conclusion that it's the vagus nerve. So, and sometimes I do notice that when my eyes are strained, the breathing gets worse. Now, I'm not saying that it's not acid reflux. I think it is. I think acid reflux is a trigger, but I think the eye strain is also triggering my breathing issues as well. Um, not directly, but indirectly through the vagus nerve, because I think the vagus nerve also plays a part in your digestive system. And I think if you're a person who has acid reflux, well, not every person, but what I read is the vagus nerve is responsible for the acid, or not responsible, but kind of plays a part in like the acid production in your stomach. So if that nerve is jacked up and stressed and not functioning right, it could be causing issues in my gut as well. You understand what I'm saying? This video is kind of long-winded, but I'm just trying to. The reason I'm talking about this is because you may have somebody watch this video who have the same symptoms, or you may develop it over time, and maybe it'll remind you of this video. You can come back and watch this video and get some information about what I went through that might can help you. You know, everybody's situation might be different, but for me, I'm almost sure that that's probably a contributing factor. But anyway, that's pretty much it. You know, I don't want to tell too much. And I got other stuff as well, but I don't want to say too much. You know, uh, that's pretty much it. I really need to take a nap. I did work this morning. I did a morning session. I need to go back out. I was gonna go back out like at 5, but I'm gonna take a little nap and then go back out. Take a nap first. So I guess that's all I want to talk about in this video. I'm trying to think of something else. I might make another video because I didn't mention that I'm 38, pushing 40. I might make another video because I didn't mention that I'm 38 and feel a little bit depressed, but also feel good because aging, getting older is a blessing. But I might make another video kind of elaborating on that, and I might start making more YouTube videos. I don't know. I really don't even make TikTok that much neither, but I might try to start back making videos. So I guess that's all for now. Today is the 31st of August, 2025.